So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have. Fellas, I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break.
Then President Trump pressuring the Georgia Secretary of State to find him 11,000 votes in order to overturn the election result in that state. The phone call remains shocking, no matter how many times you hear it. But the call was over an hour long. And there are other parts of that call that prosecutors may now be taking a closer look at. For instance, there is this part.
So dead people voted. And I think the number is in the close to 5,000 people. And they went to obituaries. They went to all sorts of methods to come up with an accurate number. And a minimum is close to about 5,000 voters.
That was President Trump insisting, again, to the Georgia Secretary of State that thousands of dead people voted in Georgia during the 2020 election. Today, the Washington Post reports that one day before that infamous phone call, a report commissioned by Donald Trump's own campaign had found that nowhere near 5,000 dead people had voted in the state of Georgia. According to the Trump campaign's own report at the time, the maximum number of votes that could have been cast on behalf of a deceased person in the state of Georgia was 23, as in 20 plus 3, as in 17 plus 6. But President Trump claimed that 4,977 additional dead person votes had somehow been discovered. 5,000 versus the truth, which was 23. The report also found that claims of thousands of dead people voting in other states were similarly baseless. Again, Donald Trump's campaign was given that report the day before he made that call to the Georgia Secretary of State. He was in a position to know that 5,000 dead people did not vote in Georgia, but he said it anyway in order to pressure the Secretary of State. And Trump kept making claims about those phantom dead votes long after that call. Here was President Trump during his speech to supporters on January 6th, just before rioters marched over and stormed the U.S. Capitol.
Dead people, lots of dead people, thousands. And some dead people actually requested an application. That bothers me even more. Not only are they voting, they want an application to vote.
Trump used claims his campaign knew to be false in order to rile up the crowd on January 6th. And now we know, thanks to this reporting by the Washington Post, that the report was provided to the Justice Department earlier this month. In other words, Trump's repeated lies about dead voters may soon become a problem for the former president as special counsel Jack Smith examines what Trump knew about the lies he was spreading as he tried to upend the results of the 2020 election.